All right, and now to the deadly spot shooting in Atlanta and spike in hate crimes nationwide targeting Asian Americans. Houston leaders want you to know that they are watching and they are ready to respond.
Our Michelle Choi has more on the fear and anxiety in an already nervous part of our community.
Guys, here in Houston, we haven't seen an increase in hate crimes against the Asian community, but just this month, there was an attack targeting an Asian American business in San Antonio. And in the wake of the week's news and months of anti-Asian rhetoric tied to the coronavirus, you can understand why many here feel uneasy. It's why HPD Chief Art Acevedo promised increased patrols, something local leaders in our Asian American community welcomed. Alice Lee is Executive Director of the Southwest Management District, which includes the Chinatown corridor and neighborhoods nearby.
You can never have enough protection 24 hours, 7 days a week and be totally safe from crime.
In addition to Houston Police, the Southwest District pays for private security. So do many of these businesses who also have surveillance cameras keeping an eye on things. Alice Lee says fear is a strong emotion, but she hopes all of Houston rallies together and works to educate each other about our diversity. A statement that personally resonates with me because, guys, as a Korean American, all of these hate crimes happening across our country hurt. My family lives in this community, and I can't imagine something happening to my 85-year-old grandma, to my parents. It's a fear I understand, which is why, Xavier, I truly believe it's important to have these tough conversations so we can stand up to hate and heal together.
Yeah, as one. And Michelle Choi, thank you for sharing that part of the story too, Michelle Choi.